Hello. Hi, everybody. We are live. I'm Amanda Call. This is my YouTube channel. This is my comic page. This is a page from my webcomic, Age of Night. This is chapter 29, page 15. We have been working on this for 2 streams already, and now we're gonna try to finish the pencils on this stream. We'll see if we can do that and see if we not only finish the pencils, but maybe start lettering. I don't know. We'll see how far we get. But there's like a streak of something on here. I don't know. Weird. All right. Hello. Hey, everybody. Thanks so much for joining me. We've got the Manic Mana and Haru. Thank you so much for joining me this evening. Hope you're all well. All right. I've got my mechanical pencil sharpened, and I'm going to start filling out this little skeleton of a figure here, putting a little bit more definition on this stick figure gesture drawing. So, how is everyone doing? How has your week been? Dude looks like he's posing like, look at me, I'm posing and I'm pretty. No, there is also a sword. He's not just posing and being pretty. My weekend was pretty good. Surprisingly busy for a a weekend where I didn't have an event. I expect the weekends where I have like a convention or an art show or something to be very busy, but then on the weekends when I don't have anything like that and I still end up running around like crazy all weekend, I'm like, what happened? How did this happen? Sometimes life is just like that. It was also very nice out, yes. Yep, I got to GM a Baker Street game this past weekend. Haven't done that in a long, long time. My husband's D&D group was like, we're kind of between like arcs on our session and our regular GM is kind of tired. Like, let's just do something different. And I happened to be available, and so they were like, Amanda, run a one shot for us. Run Baker Street. I was like, oh, okay. I haven't run Baker Street since like 20 2018, 2019. My question is, any plans for the 4th of July? We're going to the show, I'm guessing you mean fireworks show, in either Sebec or Dexter. I have not decided what we are doing yet. We're planning on catching fireworks somewhere, but I don't know where yet. Haven't decided. The kids are now old enough to actually like stay up for a fireworks show instead of, needing to be in bed before they can start even at this time of year, but haven't decided where we're gonna go. Fought a minotaur and a slime dragon this Monday. Your barbarian was actually doing decent damage. I wanna I can't read what that says because there's a thing. Something out to my half-orc druid. Nice. But yeah, the really wild thing when I was getting ready for this Baker Street game is I was like, "Well, I know that a bunch of the people in my husband's D&D game have played Baker Street with me before at SnowCon, so I've run it." Oh, you meant Bard. Okay, I gotcha. Thought it was Barbarian. I gotcha. Bard. Got it. I follow. Um, yeah, so a bunch of them have played Baker Street with me before at SnowCon, like almost all of them. And I was like, "Well, what sessions did they play? Like, what cases did they play?" And he's like, "Well, I don't know." And they didn't remember. And I'm like, "Okay, well, they may not remember just like right now, but if I started to play a case that they like started to run a case that they had played before, they would remember. Like they would get one scene into it and be like, "Oh, I remember this." And then that wouldn't be very fun because it's a mystery. It's a mystery solving game. It has to be a mystery or else it's not that entertaining. So I was like, "Oh, okay. I'll run this particular scenario." And I pulled out a scenario and like cuz I still have all of the print files and everything on my computer from when we worked on this project a bajillion years ago. I'm like, "Okay, I'll pull that up." And I pulled out, "Okay, I don't think I've run this like I don't think I ever ran this game for anybody." Like this particular case. And I pull up a case and I print it off. I print off all the clue cards and everything. And then I go to put it in my little like GMing binder and it's already in there. And not only is it already in there, the clue cards are all cut out. And then and there's like tick marks like written down on the threat meter, which means that I absolutely ran that case before. I absolutely ran it and I just have zero memory of running it. I do not recall running this case one freaking bit. I'm just like, what, when? When did I do that? I don't remember that. Whew, which tells you something about the number of Baker Street games I ran over the years. But I'm just like, "What? I don't remember running that scenario ever." But apparently I did. Writing a campaign right now and I haven't even finished the level 1 quest. Yeah, writing your own adventures can be a lot of work. Yeah, so after I realized that I had, in fact, run that case before, and so possibly I ran it for some of the people I was going to be running a game for because I don't remember running it. Maybe I ran it at SnowCon. I don't know. I have no idea. So then I printed off a different one. Ran a different one that I had never run before, which was okay. It had a few little problems I had to kind of try to deal with on the fly. once I ran it, I was like, "Oh, I see why I hadn't run that one before," but that's okay. Everybody had a good time. They eventually solved the case. Only advanced the threat meter a little bit. And Spud says, "Hey, it's Spud. Thanks for joining us." A lot of people that bounce ideas off of, lots of people that play Skyrim and stuff. There's going to be a lot of pop culture references in it too. That's if that's what your table enjoys, then that is awesome. I enjoy the occasional pop culture reference, but not when it becomes like the main thing. Like every once in a while, like okay, I was watching, for example, I was watching Bluey with the kids this evening before they went to bed, and Bluey's like the best kids show ever, by the way. Um, and there's one part where the mom was like trying to sneak up on one of the kids, and she's in a cardboard box. She's, like, sneaking down the hall in a cardboard box, which is obviously a Metal Gear Solid reference, and it's just very funny because, like, it's the littlest kid, and the littlest kid is just, like, looking around, and is like, "I don't remember that box being there," and then looks away and looks back, and the box is closer. She's like, "I think that box got closer," and so it's funny. It was a funny little bit, but, like, they don't do a ton of those types of references in the show, so it doesn't get, like, tired. They save it for, like, just occasional little jokes like that, I think work just fine. I know some people enjoy a lot more referential humor than that, but I like it just peppered in there a little bit. Whoops, I'm not in frame. Let's fix that. Okay, I need to sharpen my pencil because this all the figures in this panel are itty bitty. I need a pretty sharp pencil to get anywhere with these guys. Alright. Nice, thank you. Appreciate it. If folks like to watch someone just slowly drawing a comic page and rambling about their life, then I guess this is the place to be. Although, also, if people have questions, always feel free to ask questions, and I will give my long, rambly response to it because that's what I do. All right, we've got another figure perched up on the rocks there. Very ASMR. Yeah, that's what I've heard some people say that. I wouldn't I don't think my voice has that kind of quality, but to each their own. I suppose it's more relaxing than the people who just like yell at video games. like, I enjoy plenty of video game stream people, but, like, my kids like to watch ones where it's just like, "Oh, sir, why are you yelling so much? Why is there so much yelling? Ma'am, please stop screaming. Please, it's okay. You don't need to scream so much. I promise. There's no one in the house with you. You're not going to be murdered. You don't need to scream." More big rocks. Okay, we got a bunch more people to draw in over here. Yes, drawing the teeny tiny cat Drake reminded me as well. My darling problem child cat has gotten herself into some other kind of pickle. I'm not entirely even sure what. She's been like, she's got like some kind of rash and has been scratching at her face. And so we had to put a cone on her. Like, she has an appointment at the vet, but of course, you know, it wasn't like a super emergency. So it took a couple of days to get in, like the appointment. I made it shortly after I noticed that something was wrong, but it takes a little while to get in at the vets. So, okay, we can kind of manage it at home until then. But she's got some kind of rash. She's all itchy. And so we put a cone on her to get her to stop scratching her face. Boy, do cats not like the cone. So, yeah, we put and it's like one of the little soft ones. It's not like the big hard plastic lampshade situation, but oh, she does not like it. We put it on her, and like as soon as you put it on her, she just goes limp. She just like falls over and refuses to move and just lies there and mopes. Like, all right, I am dead now. I am a dead cat. There's no point in me continuing to try to exist because you've put a cone on me, and so now I will just lie here until you take it off. And so we have to, like, periodically take it off just so that she'll get up and eat. I'm just like, "Cat." Like, it's really not the end of the world. But no, she's convinced. She's convinced it is. Yeah, the dunce comb. The dunce cone. This poor cat. She can't figure it out. But she's going to the vet tomorrow. Hopefully then this will not be so much of an issue. Poor dumb baby. All right. And of course, this is their little encampment, so we've got to have little tents in the background. And then I spilled something on this. I don't know what I did. Hey, someone saying, thank you for joining me. I think these were supposed to be rocks. We're gonna go with rocks. Seems likely given the rest of this scene. Okay, and now we've got just one more panel that we need to finish the pencils on. I think I have a reference image open over here somewhere, and I just need to find it. Do, 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 do. There we go. Okay, that's a little awkward. Let's try that again. The hand gesture is not quite doing what I want it to do. That's better. All right. There's that character's face anyway. Hey, that came out pretty good, I think. All right. Yay. Oh, we're so close. Thank you. Appreciate it. We've got one more figure to do, and then this penciling will be done. Oh, that's okay. Okay, we've got that character roughed in. I need to sharpen my pencil again. I don't need that reference anymore. Do. What is on this piece of paper? Like, what is this weird little brown smudge on here? Makes me nuts. What's going on with your nose there, ma'am? So the look of, "What are these idiots getting up to now?" That's what's going on there. Coffee or tea? I don't know. It looks almost like a piece of like a little shred of colored pencil pigment got smudged onto it, like fell off of something else I was working on or was just like left on the desk and got on this piece of paper. 'Cause it's just a very small little like line. I don't even think the camera is really picking it up. It's like on her cheek there. But anyway, there was another one over here, which I mostly erased, but look, for all I know, it could be like a squished bug. Who knows? Now your hand's looking all wonky. What's going on here? I guess that's slightly better. Okay. Yay! Hey, look, we did it. All of the pencils are done on this page. Hooray! So now we can start doing some lettering. We still have like 20-ish minutes left, so we're gonna start some lettering. Thankfully, I found my lettering tools earlier today because I was doing some lettering. Because for a while there, I couldn't find them. I was digging around for this little guy. He was hiding, and I literally can't letter without him. This is a very important little tool. But I found him. He was hiding under a pallet that I swear I picked up like 4 times and didn't see him there, but you know how that sort of thing goes. So we need a right triangle. We need our Ames lettering guide and a mechanical pencil with a nice tiny tip. And of course, I have my script over here and I have my thumbnails, which are going to give me guidance on where I place those word balloons. Because I figure that out in the thumbnail stage so that I'm not like, oh no, I can't fit my lettering later on when I am trying to do it. Okay, so I know it's been a minute since we did this on the stream, so we're going to go ahead and kind of talk through it as we go. So you want to make sure that your letters are nice and parallel with your top and bottom of your panels. And so I use the right triangle to line up with the side of the panels here. This rail is now lined up with the top and bottom, assuming that I laid all my pages out square, which, maybe they're not 100% square, but we'll be within the ballpark, right? This little guy sits on top of here, so we can slide back and forth. I'm going to scoot up here a little bit because I am too far down. Because all of these holes up here, we don't use them. What are all these holes up here for? I don't know. It's an arcane secret. I have no idea. I only ever use the bottom row, and that's what you use when you're lettering comics. So all the way up to the top here. Now we're just using this bottom row, and we're just going to kind of put our pencil in the top hole and slide it back and forth to make a little guideline. And then we go down to the next one. And we do that again. And then we follow this little curved loop-de-loop line that skips this one and goes down to here. That's like if you were doing upper and lowercase letters, that'll give you your like 2/3 mark, not quite halfway mark, to do your upper and lowercase. But I am only doing uppercase letters. And so we just keep doing that same thing, the space, skipping down to get the large space. And then when I run out of holes, which will be 3 lines of text, then we scoot down and we try to keep everything lined up. We want that last line that we drew to line up with this hole right here. Boop. And still make sure everything is at nice lined up angles as well as we can. And then we keep going if we need more, which in this case I do. There's a fair amount of talking on this page. And then so now I have all my guidelines on here, and I refer to my script and figure out what needs to be over here. And I'm trying to keep everything more or less centered. I've done so much hand lettering that I have a pretty good intuitive sense of just looking at a sentence and seeing how I can break it up in a way that keeps the lines relatively even or keeps the top line and bottom line a little bit smaller than the lines in the middle. I don't get it right every time, 100% of the time, and that's why we do this stage in pencil so that I can go in and erase it if I don't quite get it right. Oh, excuse me. I guess I'm tired. Oh, whoops, I messed that up. I gotta fix that. Also, my chair is sinking. Oh my goodness. Have any of you ever replaced the, what is it, pressure canister inside a chair, like an office chair? My drafting stool will occasionally just start sinking. And I looked into it because drafting stools are not cheap. And the rest of it is still perfectly fine. And I was researching it, and it's like, oh, you can replace just like the pressure canister, the thing in the middle that keeps it up, and that is what allows you, like, when you pull the lever to sink back down. But I just want it up. I want it up all the way, and it keeps randomly sinking. Hey, Hungry. Thanks so much for stopping in. Yeah, has anyone ever actually, like, theoretically, it's not that hard to replace the pressure canister and make your office chair or drafting stool or whatever operate like new, but I've never done it. And so I'm just like, I don't know. Is it actually that easy, or am I just gonna make myself frustrated and still have to buy a new chair? That's my question. Chair's hydraulic gave out since I don't raise or lower, but I just bought a piece of PVC pipe and used it as a stopper. I have also been tempted to do that because I do pretty much I just keep it at this level. I don't really make it go up and down, so maybe that's just a more economical solution. That might be a better plan.
I hadn't even thought about doing that.
Right? That's a good idea. To do that, you had to remove the hydraulic from the seat, which is not easy. Okay, good to know. Shaggy vibes, a little bit. Phil kind of does have that look. Not exactly a small guy who was, so it was likely under greater pressure. Oh, entirely possible. Oh, I am not especially large. I am average sized according to American metrics, I guess. All right. Yeah, because like a lot of times, like with office chairs, regular office chairs, the like cushion and the armrests and everything have completely like gone flat and been shredded and given out. And then when the hydraulic part in the middle goes, you're just like, okay, fine, whatever. This is the straw that broke the camel's back here. Like I'm just done. I'm over it. It's already a piece of crap chair that I've just been keeping going for too long anyway. But the drafting stool is just like a hard plastic stool. It's got a nice like contour to it, so it's comfortable. Um, but yeah, so like that's not a consideration of it wearing out. As long as the like wheels don't fall off, then then it's fine basically. But I would like to not periodically start sinking into the floor. Just like be in the middle of drawing and just be like, "Oh no." Like, uh, All right. There's actually not a ton of dialogue on this page, so this is going to be the last speech bubble that we have to start putting in. Look at that. I already have all the speech bubbles penciled. The rest of the chair was fine. The hydraulic just wasn't great. Oddly, it only gave out when the chair was turned in a certain direction. Oh, I haven't really noticed that. But also, that's the same kind of issue of like, there's not really like, because it's just a circle, I don't really have a front. I don't really have a front facing direction for the chair. So maybe there is a particular direction, but I just don't realize what it is. All right. So I'm going to start doing. We have a little bit of time left, so I'm going to start doing some of the lettering in ink. I have my Speedball Super Black India ink. I have my kind of dirty school nib in the kind of dirty wood holder that I have, but I like it so much. It's also starting to warp because I've used it so much. Between being wet and the heat of my hand, I'm starting to warp it. It's pretty great. Pretty great. The school nib is fun because it is nice and stiff. And so that helps to keep a nice consistent line weight while you're doing lettering because you don't want a lot of line variation while you're doing that. So we're going to do, whoop. Oh, what happened? There we go. And again, with lettering, you're going to make each different stroke of each letter a separate motion where you pick your pen up in between so that it stays nice and clear and controlled. And as you can see, the hand lettering takes a while because you're doing each stroke of the letters by hand. Separately and slower than you would do regular handwriting to keep it nice and neat. So it takes a minute. But I like the way that it looks. So it's kind of a whole thing for me, having all the Age of Night pages have the lettering on them. I super did not want to spend my time doing that on like I am the first. No, I didn't want to make it take that much longer to do that project, and I still made a font based on my handwriting, so it still had that look. It was still like cohesive with the artwork, so that worked for me. All right, we're in the last 10ish minutes of the stream. So while I do a little bit more of this lettering, I'm going to go over the YouTube things once more and remind you I'm Amanda Call. This is my channel, and I do these art streams just about every Tuesday at 8 p.m. Eastern. If for whatever reason I need to reschedule or miss a week or whatever, I usually post about it on here, so it is a good idea to subscribe if you like to watch me working on comics. The comic I am working on this week, and most weeks honestly, is my webcomic Age of Night, which you can read at ageofnight.com. That's AGEOFNIGHT.com. That updates just about every Wednesday. And you can read the whole thing online for free. However, if you want to support me, you can do so on Patreon. All of my patrons get their comics a week early, as well as some behind the scenes peeks, stuff I'm working on, free comics for signing up, all that kind of good stuff. And it's just like super helpful, and I like it. I appreciate it so much. It makes me happy that people want to help support my comics. You can also buy my comics on Amazon, on DriveThruRPG, DriveThru Comics, and DriveThru Fiction, and on Skirmisher's website, skirmisher.com. Come on, work. Pen. I'm running low on ink, so it's like not actually picking that much up half the time when I dip it. I gotta pull out a new bottle. And if you are more into like the one-off donation or maybe buying some merchandise or whatever, you can also check out my Ko-fi, coffee, whatever, ko-fi.com shop, which is that/Amanda Call Art. And this weekend, I have an event. I will be at the Bangor Sidewalk Art Festival in downtown Bangor Saturday. So if you are in the area, stop by and say hi and maybe buy some art and check out all the other really cool art that is going to be there. Sidewalk Art Festival is always a really good time. I enjoy that show a lot. So you should check it out if you can. All right, I think that is going to do it for right now. So at the beginning of this stream, I had 4 out of the 6 panels penciled. Now we have all of the panels penciled, and we got most of the way through lettering. So that's a pretty good start. So next time we can, I don't know if I'll finish the lettering off stream or if I'll finish the lettering next week on stream and then start doing inking. Let me know. Let me know in the comments what you would prefer. If you want to see me finish the lettering, and that means, excuse me, I got hiccups all of a sudden, doing the like balloons around the lettering as well as finishing the lettering before I start working on inks, or if you want me to do that off camera and then just jump back into inking. Yeah, let me know what you prefer, and we'll reconvene on this next week. So thanks everybody for hanging out with me. I will see you next time. Bye.